Hey, and welcome to the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. I'm Jill, coach and owner of CS&F, and I'm here along with my team to take your fitness experience to a new level. In each episode, we'll bring you helpful conversations with our coaches, members, and guests to provide additional value to your gym experience and understanding to our mission at CS&F to change lives through fitness. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Hey, can we superimpose? Superimpose my head on Alex's.
Alex's what?
Torso.
Okay. All right, who's ready? All righty, everybody. We're back with a couple legends from the CS&F community. We're still waiting on them to get there, so we had some fill-ins in the meantime. I'm just kidding. I am your host, Alex, and we have two special guests in the studio. We have the one and only Peter Maher. Is that how you say your last name?
That is.
I don't think I've ever said that out loud before. I've just read it on the screen. Get used to it. Peter, how you feeling this morning? You just did the 8:30 workout. What's the one word to describe yourself right now?
Schvetty.
A little sweaty. That's why we got the fan rocking and rolling. And his co-pilot. Wait, who's the co-pilot and who's the actual pilot?
Well, I arrived first at the gym. I just want to get that out.
I don't know about that. I think Tony gets here first more.
We're talking about in 2013.
Oh, way back when we started.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I was 12. He was 13.
Well, we'll get into that because in the other chair we have the one and only Tony Austreng. Did I say it right?
You did.
Okay, good. Anthony, if you want to be official, but he's known by Tony in the CS&F community.
It's actually Adonis.
Or Adonis.
Really?
Get it straight.
That's your actual. Get out of here. Here's the struggle I'm going to have with this episode. I don't know if they're telling the truth or being sarcastic ever. So I'm going to do my best. Tony, how was that workout for you? Did you at least beat Peter?
Of course.
Of course. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we only have 3 headsets, but we do have Jill in the studio.
Hey, everybody.
We will go back and forth, but Jill will have some input on here. But we're going to kick things off. We're going to just really quick snapshot. Peter, we're going to go with you because ladies first. Who are you? What do you do? And how long have you been here at CS&F?
Well, I'm an accountant by trade. That's not who I am. That's what I do. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And I'm a lover of many hobbies.
What are 2 of them?
We're going to talk about pickleball.
Pickleball.
And CrossFit.
Pickleball and CrossFit. Tony, Canoni, Austreng. Who are you? What do you do? How long have you been at CS&F?
Let's see if I can top that answer. I am a financial advisor, investment manager. I am a loving husband, a loving father. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Amanda, of 17 years, and have 2 wonderful girls, Sadie and Olivia, new to high school and new to middle school.
Wow. And 2 fun facts about you?
2 fun facts about myself.
Or hobbies, Peter said he loves pickleball and CrossFit. What are you recently shared that there's this amazing ball at Target that we all should buy?
Yes.
I forgot what it's called.
So did I.
But Tony, during one of our 7:30 classes, like, everyone, I have an announcement. I need to tell everybody. There's like 20 people in class. I was like, I don't know where this is going. He's like, hey, there's this really special ball called like the Teletubby ball or something like this. I was like, I did not think that this is where it was going. But I still haven't got the ball. Anyways, Tony. I'm glad you're.
It's the Zuba or something.
Yeah,
it's
like
the name's a little bit off.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's amazing.
But anyways, guys, first off, thank you so much for being here. Second off, you guys have been one of our OG members ever. I mean, you've outdated me by like 4 times. You guys have been here going on 9 years, I think.
Going on 10.
Going on 10.
Going on 10. Did you guys know each other before?
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit? When did you guys meet?
Actually, 20 years ago.
2002, yeah.
2002. June.
Really? Doing what? How did you guys meet?
So I was actually over at American Express Financial Advisors.
Right.
Peter was there, and that's when I joined.
Right.
And we've been inseparable since.
That's right. We were financial planners and used to do this horrible thing, cold calling people, asking them if they wanted to hire us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you guys were lovers ever since?
I mean, I call myself more of a mentor to Peter.
Gotcha.
So I like to set the standard for him when he looks up to me.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that's kind of the relationship.
It was such an awful experience that we are friends for life because we survived it together.
It's kind of like almost every CrossFit workout.
Exactly like it.
So you guys knew each other before. What did you guys do for health and fitness during that time before CS&F?
I think we got fatter all the time.
So nothing?
No, we've always done kind of quirky stuff. During the early days, no, we were 12-ounce curls, I think, what was the name of the game. But then we started doing running, adventure races.
Sure.
All the lifting weights at 5 a.m., neighborhood clubhouse, doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, Tough Mudder did a couple of times.
We did a couple Tough Mudders. I tried to convince him to do some half marathons. He never would.
Because I'd only do the full marathons. I'm not about doing half effort. I was a member of Gold's Gym, actually.
Oh,
back in the
okay.
day, which
Gotcha.
explains
your biceps.
what I'm packing here.
Yep, exactly.
But that was years ago.
So I'm going to turn it over to Jill because I want you guys to talk about what brought you guys over here. How did you hear CS&F? Who was your first coach, your first impression of Jill? Talk to us about the 12 and 13 debate. Talk to us about that part of your journey.
Yeah, I'm happy to go first so I can set the
second.
story straight. So Peter and I were looking for something to do fitness-wise, and I'll give Peter the credit. He did find...
That's the first time in 10 years.
It is the first time, maybe the last. So is this being recorded?
Yes.
Are we started yet?
No, I have to-
Oh, we've started. I didn't know we started.
I have to give Jill credit because we were looking for something to do, and I said, why not CrossFit? And then I just Googled CrossFit Cumming, Georgia, and wow, first thing that popped up, CrossFit Cumming.
And I'll take the story from here because I think I was speaking. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
You weren't.
Oh, my God, you too.
So, yeah, Peter did find it. I did show up first as number 12. Peter was
He's
number
using
13.
a lot of hand signals right now. He's very serious. Yeah.
And we showed up, and our thought was, hey, let's try this out. And then after a while, we can maybe go out and do it on our own.
Well, we were going to steal your ideas and then just go do it on our own.
Yeah. So what was your first workout?
I remember it was something
With kettlebells and running.
kettlebells and running because I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember Jill and Hunter because Jill coached every class back then.
Yes,
Hunter
I did.
maybe pinched it
Yep.
once in a while, but Jill was the coach. Hunter was in the workout, and I remember it specifically because it had something to do with, like Peter said, running. I think it was a 200, or I don't think it was a 400 because we're coming back from that area at the curb. Kettlebells, and Hunter said at one point when he had finished, of course, he basically said to me, hey, if you want to cut this short or maybe stop after 3 rounds instead of 4, you could go ahead and stop here. Being as nice, of course, Hunter's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Being as nice as you could be, he basically said, hey, maybe shut it down here because you might not make it.
Yeah. And how did you receive that?
I said, okay.
Excellent. So I remember the first time I met you guys. You guys came in together and you had matching T-shirts on that said something in the realm of Ranger.
Right.
Okay. Ever since that day, probably for the first 2 years I coached you guys, I thought you were Ranger.
Forest Rangers. Not cool like Army Rangers.
Right.
Not the awesome.
And then I find
Forest
out you're
Rangers
both
great,
in
too.
like bookkeeping and financial advice. It was a shock to me. It was a shock. So after your first workout, why didn't you steal the ideas and take it home? Why'd you stay?
It's just too much fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun to do it by yourself. It's fun to do it with your friends.
Yes. And you guys like to suffer together anyway, like
Right.
doing cold calls. So why not suffer together and sweating too?
That's right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you guys have been here almost as long as I have, which is huge. We have 22 members that have been here since our very first we opened. In 2013 when we opened. These two are 2 of the 22. Tell me a little bit about what the last 9 years have been like for you guys. Because it's not always a linear line of progress, and it's not always a linear line of what things look like. Progress is checkered, and it can be up and down. And I know that that's been the experience for myself and for others. So why don't you guys kind of tell us a little bit about what it's been like the last 9 years for you?
Well, since you say you're first, I'll let you go.
I would say it's been pretty awesome. Like Peter had said, we initially came on with a certain mindset, and 9 years later, plus, we're still here. I think for me, why I keep on showing back up, it's the people that are here. So everybody that's here is awesome. A lot of friends that we made over time. It's getting in and get a great workout in early, sweating a little bit to start off your day, puts you in a good mood, and then just the challenge of it.
It's different every day, for sure.
It is different.
Peter, what about you?
I'd say what you said about success or progress not being linear is very true. It's been 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, all along. Some of those steps are missing digits, but that's a different subject.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. So over the last 9 years, everybody, myself included, your experience in what we're doing is up and down. Like, it changes. Sometimes it's excellent. Sometimes your life is a little bit more stressful. It changes your experience when you're exercising. So why has it lasted so long for you guys?
I think a big part of me and my life is I need adventure. And, sometimes my life doesn't allow for that. But coming here for an hour satisfies my thirst for adventure, at least for a day.
Yeah.
Right? It's an encapsulated adventure. You can get in, you can do something epic, even if you scale it like I do a lot.
Yeah.
And it's still an awesome adventure and an awesome ride.
Tell me a little bit about scaling a lot. What does that mean?
I can speak to that.
Yeah. All of us can. All of us can.
I don't
you
scale
do this
much.
longer than 3 to 5 years, you know how to scale like a boss,
Yeah,
right?
I can't remember the last time I've scaled. I usually go above. We call that RX plus.
Yes.
I mean,
Super
as,
scale.
as many people
Super
know.
plussing.
Scaling, I think it's necessary at a certain point.
Yes.
Whether it be getting up there in age, or injuries, or aches and pains, or whether it just be, I'm just here to get in some movement and get in a good sweat. So, scaling, I think initially, I think some folks may, and we may be part of the group, may be a little bit hesitant to scale because they would say, hey, what is Alex thinking of me as he's coaching the class? Scaling.
He's not thinking of you.
I'm always proud of you.
But if you look across the entire community here, nobody really cares. And as long as you're moving, there's nothing to be ashamed of when you scale. So I think initially sometimes you show up and you think, oh, I have to do the big weight like the person next to me.
Right.
Here it's none of that. And if you want to learn how to scale, I'm happy to talk anybody through that. Because,
the director of scaling at CS&F.
Actually, I'm trying to think of the last work I did here that I didn't scale something. I'm sure that I've scaled
2,000-meter row.
2,000-meter row. I didn't
He's
scale
a master
that.
rower.
I didn't scale that. So there's a couple things I can do okay, but yeah, I mean,
So
scaling.
I want to piggyback off of this because there's another important piece here is people scale for a lot of reasons, but I want to talk about scaling because of an injury and talk about injury specifically because you guys understand what it's like to suffer an injury, but also you've learned how to continue your pursuit of health and fitness through an injury. You guys have had different injuries. You probably have had more injuries throughout the past 9 years. There are many people that are kind of dealing with their own injury, and there's a common false belief out there that if I'm injured, I have to just stop everything, stay sedentary, wait for the doctor's orders, and just sit there until it's fully healed, until I can fully come back. But that hasn't been the case for you guys, and it's probably the best way forward. So, for example, Tony, what was your latest injury that you're kind of dealing with? I mean, it's been a little while now.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. My scaphoid bone,
Yep.
which is the bone in your hand / your wrist, got a little boo-boo there. So it's difficult for me to rotate.
Right.
So I've been dealing with that for quite a while. But at the end of the day, there's many things you can do, instead of what's prescribed in the workout.
Right.
And I'd say before that, and this is a pretty good example, Brent, one of the coaches here, I hurt my shoulder doing too much shoulder workout, too much of a shoulder workout during the day. And we just worked out, so if I'm stumbling in my words, clearly it's that. But hurt my shoulder, and I actually was to the point where I was like, gosh, I don't know, to your point, Alex, if I can continue.
Right.
And he basically said, no, you can. Here's how. And I remember that moment, what part of the gym we were in, what he said to me. And because of that, and it would have been any one of the coaches, Jill, Alex, anybody that's a coach here, basically can find a way for you to continue. So if you are dealing with an injury or have some ache and pain before you get into the gym, just see a coach would be my advice. And they can tell you or help you along to say, well, if you can't do that, then do this.
Right.
To the point of you might be doing sit-ups during every workout, like Peter.
That's not me, man.
Or maybe myself, which also explains my abs.
Exactly.
Incredible 10-pack. Working on a 12-pack.
Abs with Austreng right there.
That's right.
Toe taps with Austreng.
That's right.
Peter, what is the latest injury you're kind of working through, and why have you not been sidelined from it?
Tony dropped a chainsaw on my foot while I was running.
Yeah, legitly.
And I lost a toe, and that was pretty traumatic.
People think you're kidding, but you actually did lose a toe.
Well, he didn't drop it. I did. But, yeah, no, I lost a toe last year. Circumstances were pretty dramatic, but all in all, I'm missing most of a toe on my left foot.
And I was there.
He was there.
I was there. I saw it happen.
It was all my fault. Anyways, I chose not to let that stop me. It was a long 6 to 9 month recovery to where it stopped hurting. And it became more of just a mindset and figuring out how to recover and accommodate my new circumstances, learn how to move and learn how to regain balance and flexibility. I still struggle with some issues with my calf, but it's pretty nominal.
So I'm going to highlight a couple things that both you just said that I don't want to quickly pass over, then I'll turn it back to Jill. One, Tony, you said with your injury, instead of looking at what your injury prevented you from doing, you chose to focus on what you could still do. And that perspective shift is huge in working through an injury, where you're not saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. You're saying, oh, I'm going to show up and I'm going to focus on what I can do. And maybe it's a little bit more limited, but the rest of my body, my arms, my legs, my core, I can still do a lot of other things, which is going to help my health and fitness. So that didn't choose to sideline you. You're focusing on what you could do rather than what you couldn't do. Peter, you said once you suffered the injury, you made a decision that this was not going to stop you. And I think that's important as well, that you have to make that decision for yourself to say, okay, hey, yes, this is a setback, but I'm not going to let it sideline me. I'm going to keep going forward. I'm going to keep doing what I can do. And you also said I had to learn to adapt on what this looks like now. There is a learning curve that when you get an injury, you are shaken up a little bit on now you have to go left or right or do plan B, C, or whatever, but you chose to learn what that's like and you still continue forward. So I just think that injuries can be very physiological, but also mental. There's a mental game on, oh, I'm frustrated, I can't do this, and it's just all that stuff where some of those simple things like choosing that it's not going to stop you, focusing on the perspective of, okay, I still can do some things, learning how your body responds. Those are super, super important. Would you guys add anything else to that or no?
As we talk through this, I guess I just realized why we're invited to do this, Peter. Two of the most introverted people in the gym. It's because we are injured. That's why Alex and Jill were after us. Which is okay.
It's not because we're
But Peter and I continue to ask ourselves or ask each other, what you mean, anyways.
Yeah. So it's been an awesome 9 years, almost 10. We have some really funny stories of Peter and Tony. So I wanted to kind of walk us through a few of those that I personally remember very vividly. Let's start with the frog. Tony, would you like to tell us the frog story?
We could move on from that.
Nope, we're telling it.
So I was down, I was down doing push-ups or something with my back to the bay doors. Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden I looked down and out of the corner of my eye there was a frog literally about to jump on my hand.
Yep, he was coming for you.
And I screamed a very manly scream.
It was not. It was the opposite. It
was very high. Okay, it was very high pitched, and
to the point where I ran over. I thought something had happened.
So and then Josh Angel came over and rescued me. So I'm forever grateful to Josh because he saved me from this. The frog was huge. It was bigger than.
Yeah, it was about the size of my pinky. It was really large.
It was huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That part.
And, Josh runs over, picks it up, and just throws it into the parking lot. And Tony's still just sitting over there shivering from the whole experience.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yes. Yeah.
I was crying too.
Maybe a little.
A couple tears.
Maybe a little. And Peter, we have a Halloween costume contest every year. And Peter brings his A game. We have a couple others that bring their A game. But Peter, of all the years you've participated in the Halloween costume contest, what's been your favorite costume?
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you mine.
There's nothing that quite compares to the fear I had to overcome and stripping down into the baby diaper. That was pretty excellent.
And that baby diaper appeared more than once. It was not just Halloween, Peter.
It wasn't that great of a costume, but just the experience of we were in the circle of love at the time, and I remember I had planned this out pretty thoroughly, and I had sweatpants because it was winter or fall at Halloween. Covering up a diaper, and I had a bib on too, so I had a shirt on. It was covering up, and we were standing in the circle of love, and I just chose to lock eyes with one of my gym mates in the circle, and I took my shirt off, and there was my bib, and then I took my pants off, and there was my diaper, and everyone just started laughing.
Howling.
It was just.
And then you proceeded to do a workout with toes to bar in it whilst wearing a baby diaper, okay?
And deadlifts, too.
And deadlifts.
Don't
so lots of hinging, lots of toes coming up over your head in this diaper. And there's a few of our members who till this day are still scarred by that. So
they know me very intimately.
They know you very well. Those are two of my favorites.
What is your favorite? I was thinking of the toilet.
The toilet.
The toilet was fun.
He built a toilet around his body, like an actual toilet, and sat on it.
Is there a theme with diapers and toilets?
Well, Ric Flair was another good one because you got a spray tan.
I did get a spray tan.
That was a great costume. But what I also remember about the toilet costume is he tried to run in it, and it didn't end well for his shins.
No, that was the hand dryer.
Oh, you were a hand dryer one year.
Yeah, the annoying hand dryer when you took away our paper towels because you didn't want to spend money on the paper towels.
It wasn't because I didn't want to spend money on paper
totally
towels.
Was.
People use 52 paper towels to wipe their brow, to wipe their I don't know what their shins. I was saying shins, by the way. So we have since returned to paper towels. The air hand dryer just didn't work for us, guys.
No that's why I made it as a Halloween costume, so that during the Circle of Love, I could run the blower inside of my hand dryer that I constructed.
So the last thing I'd like us to talk about is how you guys earned your nickname. So Adonis. Can you tell us a little bit about where that came from, Tony?
Do you need to tell?
Do I need to explain?
You just need to show.
I could.
We don't have video footage here, so you are going to have to paint a picture of why Adonis for you.
I mean, if I took off my shirt, it'd be obvious, but that'd be awkward.
We'll get a photo and just post it.
We could do that. Yeah. Let's post that
Tony
on the podcast.
and I don't take our shirts off in the workout because we don't want the members to feel bad.
Well, I appreciate that. That's really thinking about other people.
It is.
Yeah. Let's go, Adonis. Come on. What is it? Why?
I think
we just explained it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to it.
Okay, so we're going to have to post a photo for people to see.
That'd be great.
Now, Peter, you acquired...
Would you like attendance to go up or down? Let's be clear.
I think it depends.
We're looking to control the numbers here.
I think it depends. Yes. Peter, you have lovingly had many different nicknames, but the one that has stuck for me specifically is P-Turd. P-Turd.
You're going to make me tell this story.
This is why we invited you on the podcast, to tell us about P-Turd.
Okay. So this is an old story. This is when my kids were quite little, and right now my daughter's away at her first year of college and my son's starting his junior year. So this was back in elementary school, maybe early middle school. And we had a project that I think most everybody has, and we had to construct an animal cell or a plant cell. I think it was an animal cell. And so my daughter decided two of us decided we'd cut a cantaloupe in half, and we'd use any sort of various types of candy for the different parts of the animal cell. Remember what they are, ribosomes, chromosomes, whatever it is. Anyways,
I just realized what story it was.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yes.
If you hear my Alex, that's me
in
giggling a little bit in the background. I was like, where are you going with this? Now I got it. Yeah, this is good. Stay tuned in if you're about to tune out, which you probably already did, but that's okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. So anyways, we went to the grocery store and we bought a dozen different types of candy, and we proceeded to come home, cut this cantaloupe in half, get all the candy out on the dining room table, and we have this little dog, Charlie. And he's a little Shih Tzu poodle, my wife's loving dog. Anyways, we have all this candy out on the dining room table, and we're making a huge mess. It's going everywhere. It's all over the floor. But we construct this beautiful animal cell. We take pictures. We get it in the fridge. We wrap it up for the next day's class, and then it's time for bed, and get the kids off to bed. And I come back downstairs, and there's this huge mess to clean up. So proceed to get down on the floor and my hands and knees and pick up all the different candies. There's Nerds, and there's gummy worms, and there's Jolly Rancher. Everything's out there. So anyways, I'm under the table, and it's kind of dark under there. I'm down, and I'm picking up dozens and dozens of Nerds in my hands, and I don't know what thought crossed my mind, but I decided instead of just throwing them away, I thought, what the heck, I'll just eat them. So I threw them in my mouth.
No.
And started chewing and realized this was not candy. This was something that Charlie had left behind.
Are you kidding me?
And got really sick. Ran to the sink, started washing my mouth out with water and screaming, and everybody comes back downstairs from bedtime, and they're like, what's wrong? I just ate Charlie's turds.
Oh my! No, you didn't.
It was dark.
Oh my! Wait, how does P-Turd? Oh my gosh! I haven't heard that story. That is a good one.
It was an old one. That's a good one.
That is a good one. All right, guys, we're gonna round third and head towards home base. Really quick, more serious question. Then we're gonna end on some fun ones. We're gonna do would you rather's just to kind of end. Okay, each of you get one. Okay, Peter, what would you encourage people who are not part of the CS&F community with about maybe checking it out or trying it, and why you've stayed for so long? For someone on the outside, why would you encourage them to at least try it? Peter, what would you encourage, Tony, what would you encourage the CS&F communities currently with? So they're continuing, they may either plateaued or just starting, whatever. What piece of encouragement would you give our already members? Peter, we'll go with you first.
Gosh, I think exercise is just such a huge part of my life, and I think it should be a part of everybody's life. Moving, not necessarily trying to be the best at CrossFit or being intimidated by the people that are around me that are way better than me at CrossFit or anything. But just using this.
Thank
you. Yeah, well, not you. I was talking more about Alex and Jill. Just finding something that you like to do and do it. That's my big advice to everyone. It doesn't matter if it's ballet or if it's weightlifting. It doesn't matter. Just find something that you like to do and do it. And this is great for me, and it's great for a lot of people.
That's good. That's good. Tony?
For existing members, I'd say as you'll find when you join Coming Strength and Fitness, latch on to other folks, make new friends, introduce yourself. A lot of the existing members will do that anyways, but find a core group of folks that you can be held accountable by. So I'd say, meet new people.
Yes.
And find that group that you like to work out with, and then you'll find that as you hop between classes like Peter and I have, those people are in every single class. So if you show up and you start working out at 6 a.m. or if you bounce to 8:30 or to 4:30 or 5:30, there's those type of folks in every single class, which is great.
Right.
So as you hop around, find folks that you can work out with and be held accountable by. And then secondarily, again, more of Peter's world versus mine, but I would scale. Scale when you find something that either hurts or you're not wanting to do the full weight or what have you. So as long as you're moving, like Peter said, I think it's a wonderful thing.
You come for the fitness, but stay for the community.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you've lived that out over the past 10 years. Really quick for these would you rather questions, I forgot to mention at the top of this episode that we are in the presence of greatness, not just Tony's Greek god status, but Peter is a world record holder.
Ooh.
Like legit, actual, certified Guinness world record. Peter, you have 30 seconds. What is this, and how did you do it?
It's beach paddleball, commonly known as Procadema. It's what you play at the beach, or what you see folks playing at the beach with a wooden paddle and a hard rubber ball. It's fun. Anybody can do it. And a friend of mine and I found we were pretty good at it when we first picked up the paddles together. Started at 400 the first time we hung out together at the beach, and then went to 1,500, and then went to 2,000, and said, you know what, we need to see what we can do, contact Guinness, try out for a record. It's a big, long process. They make you jump through a lot of hoops, videos, judges, evidence, photographs, the video. I mean, it's nuts. Anyways, we submitted an attempt. It took them 6 months to look over it and approve it, and lots of correspondence with them, but they finally said, you know what, you guys are the best in the world at beach paddle.
So how long did you paddle back and forth?
It's not our best attempt. For whatever reason, there was some stage fright with the whole process, but we did 2,337. Our best is more like 3,500. But anyways, that's consecutive hits of the ball with at least a 3-meter distance between us.
So you've even broken your own world record before?
Yeah, I have, yes.
Wow. Yeah, how long did that take you?
The 2,300 is about 45 minutes.
45 minutes of beep, 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 just back and forth.
It's very relaxing.
Very knocking your head against the wall. All right, guys, we have a couple minutes. We want to end with some fun ones. Jill, you can even shout yours from the background as well, because she's still with us. All right, just would you rather? We're going to go rapid fire. Ready? Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Jill says smooth.
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Both.
You got to pick one. You can't do both or neither.
Okay, crunchy.
Crunchy.
Peter likes the texture, as we learned before.
Crunchy.
Job, Peter.
I thought they were nerds.
I thought they were nerds. Pickleball or CrossFit?
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
No pressure.
Peter.
Pickleball.
So good at it.
It's right. He's really, really good at it. All right. Mullet or mohawk?
Mohawk.
Mullet.
Really?
Yeah.
Jill. Fly or teleport?
Teleport. Why
Teleport?
not? Yeah.
Teleport.
Teleport.
I'm flying.
I'm teleporting. In a perfect sleeping condition, would you rather sleep with a pillow and no blanket, or a blanket with no pillow?
Pillow, no blanket.
Pillow.
Really? I would do blanket, no pillow. Yeah. Ooh, this is good for the money guys over here. Would you rather receive an extra $1,000 per month just on top of everything, or an extra $12,000 once a year?
1,000 a month.
1,000 a month.
Last one. Would you rather have bad buck teeth or a bad underbite?
I think underbite was really cool.
Jeez. Well, Peter said underbite. Tony?
Let's go with the buck teeth.
Buck teeth. Jill?
I've had enough.
Aw.
And mullet and buck teeth at the same time?
That's Jill's alter ego. Well, guys, I appreciate this conversation. Jill, thanks for hopping in and out as well. It's been really cool to see your journey, and thanks for letting us capture a small snapshot of that. We'll see you around the gym, and we'll see you another episode of the CS&F Fitcast. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, friends. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and gained a greater understanding of the mission and vision of the CS&F community. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Coming Strength and Fitness, or hit us up on comingstrengthandfitness.com. See you next time.